Everybody, for the first time on the night shift, our very first guest, would you please welcome musician, rock star, and my brand new friend, DC Maxwell!
Woo! Woo! Thank you! Thank you!
Hey, good stuff! Oh my gosh, thank you.
Oh, rockstar!
I'm not a Scientologist!
The one thing I'm very interested in, and this is sort of getting a lot, trying out my interview chops. A lot of people, have creative outlets in their mind or in their soul. It takes very few people to actually begin chasing their dreams and make something not just a pipe dream. You are now fully into rock and roll music and performing. What steps did you overcome, or what experiences did you have that actually led you to actually say, you know what, I'm actually going to fucking do this and go for it and make the leap?
Probably just sheer overconfidence to push yourself past those early stages of being really bad. You kind of just need to fake it
till you make it.
Yeah. Wow. You should write that down.
Wow, I should.
I don't know. And then also when I was a child, I found my mother had gone to a clairvoyant. She's a very witchy lady, my mum. And I was a very misbehaving child. So she was trying lots of different things to try and put me on the straight and
candle in
narrow.
a clay pot type thing. Yeah.
Well, drawing blood from a witch drew blood from my hip and smeared it on my face while she chanted and that sort of thing.
So what?
Yeah, but mum got really mad.
Did you call the cops?
No, but I think the witch started when she was massaging the blood into my temples, was saying oh, do you believe in fairies? Because I'm seeing a lot of fairy presence in your life. And I think after that I was
I'm gay. That is insane. Did your mum find this lady on Gumtree or whatever, and then when you turned around she'd actually just run off back into the bushes?
I don't know how my mum found her.
That is
I feel
insane.
bad. My mum is a lovely woman and we're very close. But she was trying different things for a misbehaving child.
And so...
one of the clairvoyant people, that's a great interview technique, thank you, getting me back on track, had written when her 3 children of my 2 siblings and me were born, the clairvoyant wrote down a little essay about them with an image of a cherub, and it kind of analyzed our birth time and all that. And my one said, we'll be very creative but we'll not finish projects ever. We'll start a lot of projects and we'll never finish them. So, and even as a 7 or 8 year old, when I was reading this, I was like, I'll prove you wrong, witchy clairvoyant.
Witchy gypsy bitch. I gotta get...
Yeah,
oh
so
my
that's
God.
going in the back
Turns
of
out
my
it was
mind.
Stevie Nicks, and you just Stevie Nicks just drawing blood from your hip. Good stuff.
Yeah, possibly.
That's amazing. Well, not amazing. I mean, that which is bloody insane. Let's see what I
Well,
got.
I don't know.
Well,
Maybe she
yeah.
did something. Oh yeah, she said she's linked. Anyway, no, we don't need.
Oh, no. Say it.
She was when we'd gone in for behavioral issues, and then after she'd done the blood thing, she was like, "Okay, great. Now your legs are the same size as each other." She's like, "Did you not
All
know?"
3 of them.
She was like, "Did you not notice when you walked in that you were walking lopsided?" And I was like,
No, that's because you're a witch and you've got a lopsided house, you old hag. What are you talking about?
Gosh, yeah.
Mate, I saw you perform. You are a very animated and I would say very spirited rock performer, something that, some might argue is missing nowadays, from recent crowds. I mean, you could chalk it up to COVID, you could chalk it up to people being a bit too embarrassed to be filmed for social media or anything. What I'm talking about is I saw you last week at the Punters Club in Fitzroy. You got out into the crowd and you were quite emotive, and you're on the floor and you're moving.
Mm-hmm.
How has that been? I don't know, coming to Melbourne. I don't know if you've kind of found the scene a bit sort of cold, or a bit sort of when you get into the crowd, the waters part. Sort of like Moses.
I
What's
love
like?
it. Everyone in Melbourne is amazing. I think that performance style for me comes from, I was started playing music really, really young, and I was always the youngest band on the bill, and because of that, you would always be put on first before anyone had shown up, and everyone was still loading in their gear outside smoking and everything. So I learned very, very quickly in my early years that if you wanted to get anyone's attention, you had to be way better than them, way crazier than them, and like actually do something to like get people's attention in the crowd, to like grab them in. So I think like those lessons are still a thing. But no, I love Melbourne. The city loves music a lot. Like it's cool. And everyone I think is just dressed really well. So that probably comes into it.
Okay.
That they don't want to get their clothes spilt with beer on. Yeah, one time back home I did do the similar thing, and it was like a really packed room, and someone was drinking like a red wine. It went, over everyone, which is like, it was a funny like, don't drink red wine at the rock show kind of thing.
It's that person's fault. It's time to victim blame. That person shouldn't be drinking red wine at a rock concert. Come on.
Okay.
Let's
well,
do that.
I'll blame them. That's Jack's fault.
Do you find that sort of this, the act, not the acting, like, but the persona and the animation that you get on stage, does that influence sort of your creation when it comes to the actual music, or is it the other way around, or do you find them quite separate, or is sort of this sort of reaction to the music always sort of in your writing process, if that makes sense?
No, I think the writing process is more like a act of discovery for me. It's like you don't really know where a song's going, and you're just trying to like hold on to its coattails and see where it's going to end up. But the act of performance is like honoring the song and like honoring what you've created and being true to it and being like a serious performer. Like one thing, I don't want to be a drag on,
yes, you do.
This beautiful city.
Please.
But one thing that does grind my gears a little bit is when people get up on stage, they're like, oh, we didn't practice for like 3 fucking months. I wrote this song yesterday. I just audio dropped it to my friends. We're going to do it right now. 1, 2, 3. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, if people have paid to see you or they've come out, there's so much shit to do in the city. Anyway. No, that's my one little rant.
One little gripe. Well, you moved to Melbourne, so you're allowed to have a whinge. Like, everyone who comes to Australia gets to start
but I feel like, a whinger from New Zealand is a different kind of thing than a whinger from Perth. Like, I was really nervous in the last election that I was worried that Dutton was going to get so desperate that he was going to launch, like, an anti-New Zealand line. That he's going to be like, get these fucking Kiwis out of here. And I was like, actually had a few sleepless nights. Like, how's that going to look?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Anyway, and can I also say, in Collingwood, there's someone tagging, I love New Zealand, I love Aotearoa. Yeah. That is not a New Zealander. There's no way. There's no way in hell a New Zealander would ever do that.
Why not?
It goes against our mana, our kaupapa as people. We're not about
that type of person.
No.
I've actually got a photo of speaking of the animation and the performance you do, Matt. If you're ready to pull it up, here. It's a photo of you being quite emotional and quite entranced with your song, and old mate Kev up the back is looking a bit.
He's lost in the music, and I tell you what, that is all I want to see as a performer. You know what's funny? I saw him. I was on the stage and I saw him from the back of the room, and I was like, I want to get to him. And so me going through the crowd was like trying to get next to him and like get on his table and do that final delivery next to him, and I'd asked for a long lead, and I walked through the crowd and I was so powerful, and then doof, and then it just kind of like stopped a little bit short, so I had to grab a seat. But thanks for grabbing that photo. No,
it's very great.
There were some people there that enjoyed it, but they were out of frame.
That Nathan Fielder, they're my friends, just out of frame, smiling politely.
They just go to a different school.
They just different school.
They don't have Facebook or.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you just want to quickly introduce what little clip we're gonna see here?
So, people of the night shift, we're about to look at a song of mine called The Leading Man that we played in an old Gothic cathedral with a string orchestra and a rock and roll band. And I had a different haircut, but it's me up there, all right.
All right, we'll throw to it. Take it away. We'll do it live. DC Maxwell, everyone.
This next song's called The Leading Man.
Time those curtains raise, I'll be waiting in the wings. I've only got one line to say, I'm gonna give it everything. But I'm not the man that people came to see. That man is standing center stage, he's been drinking since 3. Oh, that leading